Hello everyone, this is Dikshak Bhatt from Team OYG. On behalf of our team, I welcome you all again on this interesting another virtual session. Today we have wonderful full speaker all the way from Scotland, uh, Dr. Kasia Jagiela, and ma'am is a Polish but currently living in the Scotland. She is a clinical complementary therapist having 25 years of practice with the therapeutic bodywork like massage, reflexology, CBD, and frequency treatment, etc., etc. Last year, she introduced a new device for the treating any kind of pain, depression, anxiety, and insomnia. The device is known as Healy, which is wearable medical device using the frequency to help with the physical and emotional and mental problems. We will get to know further about in these details from herself only in this entire session. So, behalf of our team, I welcome you, ma'am, on this virtual platform, and I hope I haven't missed anything from the introduction.
Hello, about hello everybody. I'm very pleased and happy to be with you today. I thank you for lovely introduction. I'm really happy to be with you today. And if about me, that I'm Polish and living in Scotland is quite vital because it's from two different kind of language zones. So if you will not able to understand anything, let me know because accents are different for me and accent is different for you. So that's all the information which I have found valid for mentioning on the very first moment. Yes, I am complementary therapist. I've been working as a therapist for 25 years, and I was using a lot of different techniques and methods in my whole practice, mostly because humans are very multi-dimensional creature. So we cannot look on the body as the body itself. We need to understand that body is much bigger than physical state of us. So in this sense, we will need to look on this how we eat, how we sleep, how what we drink, how we drink. We need to understand physical activities and purpose of it. So most of us usually were focused on the physical activities because wanted to try get fit. Nowadays, after pandemic, I think that we need to understand also the value of us as the humans rising the energy and rising the global energy as well. So any tools to help us with this help us also solve a lot of different problems on the physical level. This understanding comes with every practice we take. So no matter if you are dietitian or yoga practitioner or Tai Chi or whoever you are, you do understand that a path you take in always bring you to the successful results if you will practice and you will understand the sequence of your actions. The same as with the tools we're using as a therapist in the room. Therapists need to have this understanding that how many people, so many problems. And every problem sometimes looks very similar and the same. But it can come from very different levels and different reasons in our life. So sometimes this is really physical problem which we experiences, but sometimes this can be biochemical imbalances within the body. Sometimes this can be because our relations are not so good. Sometimes our imbalances happen because emotional and mental state of our mind. So finding and focusing on the source of our health and life problems as a really valid point of our life. And you all understand, and I do understand, that we all are pieces of the chain. So we need to look on ourselves like the piece of the ecosystem altogether. So we cannot really also separate our life from the life of everybody and everything what is around us. This time of the year where we experiencing after pandemic problems and shocks, and this is creation of completely new disorders as well, which are connected to separation, anxiety, lack of ability to communicate with other humans, with the family mostly. This affects us negatively. And we sometimes do not see this because within the year, we all adjusted ourselves to the life how it is. But stress, one created and kept on the same level, sometimes is very difficult to track because we live in the same constant chemicals, body chemicals and hormones. which float our body and stay with us. So we can adjust this function in our body, but we also need to remember that drastic change in the hormones and the level of cortisol, the hormone stress levels can bring a lot of post-traumatic disorders. And this when we need to look on our life creation within last 12, 16 months, because post-traumatic disorder will come usually with the offset. So this is not next or week or next month problem. This is really sometimes problem created after a long time after the event happened. And this is why it is important to think in the way how, without any kind of deep integration, we can really help the person or we can help ourselves. And technology I was searching for so many years only brought me to the conclusion that everything already exists in this life. We just do not have enough knowledge, or we just didn't really found out a solution for the problems. Because how we already kind of noticed in this life is problem always will be solution, because the nature does not create something for no reason. So if you do not really have this knowledge yet, put intention in the cosmos and the universe and ask about right solution, and you will get this. This is probably why we met today. This is probably why you have your practice, because only in this way, by sharing information, we can really enrich our lives and improve quality of this life. Do you think it is a value for us all to meet on some platforms? Always is. The question is, what would you like to know, or what would you like to find to improve your life? That's why I'm here. So I did prepare a little bit presentation about myself and what I'm doing and how I'm looking in this world. And if you would like to see these values, I will present you a first and main points of us as the human in this world. And then I will introduce you to Healy medical device, which is wearable, compact device and operated by the smartphone. That's very, very new technology. Very new because of the size, but not very new because of the frequency use. Frequency use is in medical environment and settings for many, many years. You also know this technology because somehow your phone must operate. Sometimes your radio and the frequency on TV works, your microwave, MRI scans. So frequency is nothing new. A way how we look on the frequency today is completely different, because we can use this product to solve a lot of different problems on the physical level, but not only, also psychological, because we can influence our thoughts, we can influence our way how we're feeling about ourselves, we can strengthen some qualities in the body, and that's possible. And why is this possible? I will explain you how. It's no any magic, everything is science. And if you heard about Einstein, you know that the science is not this year's science, this is science which exactly is based in completely different century, so it's really long. So in this moment, I'm going to have a look on the presentation to show you how exactly develop all the physics and quantum spectrum, because if I talk to people about quantum medical field, they don't know it. Neither do I, because I'm not I am not quantum physicist. I am therapist who use energy for last 25 years to help people solve the problems which they experienced on the physical level, but comes from completely different source. And this is how I look at the person. The person has a multidimensional structure, and we need to really work around all this to accommodate needs of our clients. So that's what I mean by the holistic therapy, that I don't really look on the one piece of the human, of the nutritional way, of only activity way, physical activity. I look at the person from the very many perspectives, and I bet that you're all doing the same things because we understand, and our deep instincts do tell us that this is how we live, This that we are limited with our way of living is because we adjusted our way to live in the urban cities. We adjusted our way to living to the systems built around us, our education. So very often this kind of box does not give us very good connection with our inner self, and we are not able maybe very well communicate with our intuition and the spiritual world. But this does not mean that we are missing anything. We just never really pay enough attention, and attention is always a key to everything, to the health and to the use of this what the nature gave us. So that's only a way how I see our life. So I am gonna to skip the first slide because how you probably all see, I don't know if you see this on your screens with the presentation, but I don't really think this. David, how can we do a screen share here? And we can, yes, we can.
There is a green icon in
I
the,
think,
yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
I think that we already here. Yes, well done. So I'm skipping this slide because you already know what I'm doing, with who do I work, how do I try to help people, and how I see humans. Not humans, everybody, every living existence has a value, and the value is exactly in the terms of my thinking about the energy and vibration. So I mentioned energy and vibration, and all echo each we take as the actions in our life is exactly effect of this, what we think, what we feel, how we act, how we really try to use our potential towards others. So we sometimes talk about karma, sometimes we think in the different terms, but everything is true, because no matter how, we always will be generating some actions. And these actions, how you can see, by waves and frequency are matching universe. In this way, when you're talking about karma or maybe some kind of systematic family issues from the past, this is a course of the information which is stored in the fields of energy, the fields which we call vortex, God, science, quantum physics. That's exactly the same things. On the level of quantum medicine, quantum physics, we all molecules with the we information around our existence. And this information is shared. So if you're thinking about your parents and grandparents, you're looking back to the way how everything in the epigenetics way formed you today as a person. So sometimes we have difficulties in life because we do have obstacles and we cannot overcome it. So we reach some point of living, we have good, fantastic life, we get to some point, and we cannot see beyond this point, and we reset our life to the beginning. This is why very often people experiencing the same problems with their relations, with work, with the pattern of building relation with other people. We do our best, but in some point in our life, it's just going to nowhere. So in this point, we need to ask what our actions or actions of our family members were taken in the very, very past to form this part information in ourselves, which brings us to the point that information is not coming really from our own experience and ourselves. And how I always see this through all these layers. If we talk and I use Healy, for example, to identify where the problems of people's life comes from. Sometimes this is from the emotion, sometimes from the history of the family, sometimes from our grandparents. And that's very important to know, because nothing in this world is missing. Everything is stored. This is like in the computer, in the memory of your computer. So even if you wipe memory of the computer, you always can somehow retrieve the information. And that's what's happening in our fields. Because if our energy fields are built from all this information, depend how deeply are seated in our life, we are able to also solve problem and the mystery how people can get in this kind of difficult situation in life. So, for example, I am Polish, and in the Polish nationality, wars and fighting about independence, that's a key. So my grandparents were fighting in the Second War, and they died in the Second War. And very many traumas in life of Polish people comes because of it, because of our grandparents needed to fight about independence, needed to fight about surviving. So killing others, this is the first thing we need to do: kill to survive, hide to survive. Do not own anything by the case if enemy use this against you. So in problems of the modern people, we have the same things over and over. Like for example, we are not really build very good prosperity for ourselves because one of the causes of our grandparents were for survival reasons. It's much better to have nothing. By the case, if you get killed and everything will be taken. For survival reasons also, we need to hide. This is why we also never really feel as confident as other nations. And also with our culture, we do have the qualities which are very similar to our geographic location. Probably you in your environment have similar pattern of the actions and experiencing life through the different history. So that's why I always say your history may not be important to you, but it is important for your life surviving and your future generation. And if you do not look in this way, you never will skip this vicious circle in life because you always will be circling around the same problems. So breaking this pattern required work on the different levels, and there are not physical levels, there are energetic levels, and we need to look through all this energy to identify where the problems actually started. I will talk about this when I will be talking about the resonance, because Healy has resonance and vibration ability to solve this kind of problems with the human lives. And I do appreciate this tool because I meet a lot of families which cannot really understand what's happening within the structure of the family. But when I do analysis of the person with the chakras, I can see that the same chakras are blocked in the same family. Between mother, daughter, son, and grand, for example, we have the same issues. And this comes so clearly that actually it's for me fascinating that the quantum sensor can identify exactly the same problems and not having this knowledge that they are all part of the same family. So for me, that's a great tool. And when I use this as the vibration, I record vibration of the Healy to modify levels of the not physical body, energetic bodies. And I place a new information for this field. And this information in the field is like the iron which smooths our imperfection. We are not able to change our past, but we are able to smooth it. And that's sometimes very enough for a person to have completely different settings in life, different approach, different thinking, and very important to us all. This is what we do today. We don't do very often for ourselves and our health. We do this for our future and our kids because we try to create aware and conscious environment and human. But if we don't think about ourselves like a chain of these reactions, we never will be able to successfully solve not only our life challenges, but also our kids. So I usually tell my clients, you don't think about this as a therapy for you. You think about this as a therapy for your family. Because in the same how the tree grows, if the tree has strong roots, the tree will be strong and really will be resistant. If the plant has very weak roots, never plant will be able to survive for long or in the same capability how this normally could be when roots were strengthened enough. So the way how I see the Healy with the spiritual personal development is we do some certain work to improve not only our history, but also a future of our kids and next generation. So that's the message. I did also mention about this that we are multidimensional creatures, and if we talk about this in this way, we know that we have 5 energy bodies, 5 elements, 7 torsion fields with the chakras. So we aware of it, and this how the quantum medicine looks and everything. And in the sense of the quantum medicine and physics, we always will be thinking about vibration, about frequency, and we always will be evaluating the way how everything all together emerges and how they emerge our body and what effect produce. Because very often people are with so many problems, they cannot really find the beginning of it, and very often it happens that they lose control, not because lack of abilities, but lack of knowledge and tools. And that's what our mission as a therapist is. Let them know what can be used to improve their quality life, and let them know how personal development can look. Not everything is for everybody, but in the right state of mind and openness for searching for suitable ways, you will be able to find. Every way to help is the same, guarantee the same success, but you need to start and you really need to focus on your path, because that's important, focusing on your path. Um, we look through the history of the quantum medicine and physics. And we know that nowadays, because physics are very advanced, physics can measure everything. So now we can understand that everything can be translated or from the different fields of energy to the physical, actually document and physical proof. But the history of the quantum physics goes so far, like on the beginning of 20th century. 20th century for Max Planck, who already knew that the quantum theory can be valid point of understanding the human life and value of the health. But not everybody needs to know quantum physics to understand the physics or energy itself, because every practitioner, yoga, tai chi, understanding the breathing and the specific movements are able to accommodate their needs in the way how, and specify their needs in the way how they want to, because intentions going behind all of our actions. And this how 6,000 years ago, healers also seen the value of the energy within the body and how the body generated the energy itself. Now we already can measure that the cells within our body could to actually give a light for New York City. And that's only because electricity, which we provide for all vital function in our bodies, are quite high. And we are using this technology nowadays to make sure that energy flows within the body and in our life is undisturbed. And if it's disturbed and it's imbalance, we need to really find a suitable tool for it. I did mention that frequency is a language about between everything, between the cells, between this, how the disease happen, how the essential oils providing the frequency. So if we're thinking in the category of the vibration and energy, we also think what serves our life and what does not serve. And if we have this kind of hint that everything matters to us, we start choosing something carefully. So I don't know how this is in your culture, but in Scotland, people have very little understanding of the way how they live. So mostly the diet of the Scottish person is plenty of crisps, plenty of sweets, a lot of takeaways. By the way, we love Indian takeaways. so it's a lot of really very unhealthy habits, but we never think how this really affects our health. So because nutritional value and energetic understanding of the food is lacking there, our bodies are weak, our bodies are really suffering, and our body has no any kind of ability to heal itself. That's why is so many people who suffer from the disease um, created by our way of living. Civilization is not helpful. So mindfulness needs to be really taken into consideration, because every time when we choose something, we also decide what our future gonna to be. So if my partner is gonna to eat for 3 days crisps and sweets for chocolate for a dinner, I am not able to do anything else for him because he has exactly awareness of this what's happening in the body. So I cannot help him anymore. He has knowledge. So if he uses this knowledge wisely, he will not sabotage his life. He will protect his life. So maybe one day he will turn to the normal dinner, right? But guarantee everybody using their free will use this free will according to their needs. If you have a good instinct to survive and give the world what's best in you, you will also use and choose these tools and this style life which gives you this value. But if you do not see anything beyond a normal average life, you never will be trying too much the best what life offers. And that's why addicts, that's why people who cannot really recognize their value as the humans in this life, they're losing the point of living. And also this shows how they live. A lot of rubbish, a lot of lack of understanding, lack of empathy, lack of love to yourself. You don't really do much you don't contribute much to your normal life because you don't see value behind. But knowing that you are a person who is for a reason in this world and has something bigger to offer, that's really essential. And that's why also working with the energy is to make people aware that energy, it's your choice of living. You're choosing something what suits you or you don't. And that's why I really think educating people is very, very important tool. So um, medicine in the different culture looks differently. And I do think it's important to know that not all countries in Europe or in the world accept holistic medicine. Very often they disapprove this. They say it's just no worth it. It's no really any kind of proof. Of course, for medics, never will be enough proof because medics operate on the different system of the working. Yet they really want to solve someone's problem as quick as possible. But by solving someone's problem as soon as possible, you may actually take someone's life from person because you don't really contribute anything to make this person more aware, more conscious. You don't make this person let they choose the way how they want to live. And the fear which is behind the message from the doctors usually come they feel intimidated and we feel that we already lost our power of using a free will to choose what's best for us. And in my practice, I have that's for me is incredible because I have a lot of health professionals in my practice. They come for treatments, for massage, they come for Reiki, they come for everything else. They ask about treatment, but yet you go to them and you tell about it and they disapprove it. So you asking yourself, what kind of understanding about the health you have as a professional? If you coming asking me about treatment which you do not approve as a professional, I don't understand this. I give what you ask for. I do in my best belief that you need this for whatever reason. But if I send you a question about this and you answer, you don't believe it, I'm asking myself, so what I am doing with this kind of environment? So that's for me is absolutely weird. And even though, and I seen my doctor yesterday, I went with my daughter and I seen my doctor yesterday, and I told her, I know what her health is like because I done analysis. I know what herbs she needs to use. I know what homeopathics she needs to use. I know what vitamins are lacking. So to make sure that my doctor understand my intention, I ask about the blood test results because I think that for me is enough to know. But if for my doctor is not enough, do a blood test and let's see how close we can work together. Because I do not expect everybody will be understanding this, what I'm doing and how I'm doing. But I understand that you have enough open mind that you want to be, by curiosity even, find out if this is a reliable source of information about the person. And quantum physics are the reliable source because the readings are at in the moment of your body action. So this is not analysis from the hair which grows for 3 years, example, and cumulative enzymes in a very long time. This is in the moment of your real need. So that's why why curious what my doctor said. They didn't tell anything about this, but I think that because she sent my daughter for the blood results, and I think I'm also would like to know where we can change and where we can actually cooperate with the medical team on the professional level. Every each of us is professional in their field. This that we have a different background, different education, does not mean that our work is not worth it, is it? So point is, are you professional in the real way, no matter if you are a doctor, therapist, massage therapist? If you are professional, you really want to find out how all together can be connected and how everything can be used towards the health benefits of our client, not against. So let's do not limit our territory. Let's do not limit our ability to work with others, because in other case, we take someone's free will and they choice away. And that's a shame, because complementary therapies or natural therapy, alternative therapy can offer much, much deeper insight than the medicine itself. Because 100 years ago, my grandmother would go to the doctor if she would be unwell. She would found the herbs in the garden. She would make her a broth soup, and she would make the medicine from this what she had to use. She wouldn't look for the penicillin or paracetamol. In Scotland, it's very popular paracetamol and penicillin. But in sense of the healing, you're looking for this what helps you balance your body, not cover your symptoms. And that's a reason why we are working as the therapist, because we want to find this cause, we want to find the reason, and we want to solve it. And because we know how to identify the problem and where to find the solution, give us. Hello. Okay. So I don't know if you already see my screen.
No,
Can you
it's
see
not
my screen?
visible. No, it's not yet
Not
visible now.
Okay, let's see. Screen share. Okay. Okay. It's still better?
Yeah, we can see it now.
Okay, so I will carry on. Okay. Okay, I'm ready?
Yes, ma'am. It's visible. You can carry on now.
Okay. When I found Healy medical device, I did not expect that this device is so small. And if I would need to be honest with everybody, when I got this delivered to my home, I've been purely disappointed. Right? 25 years of learning, looking for new skills, looking for understanding of the holistic world, and everything came in this. Right? So 25 years against this, I wasn't very sure how I am gonna to like it. Today, I tell you one thing. I never found any better home therapist or even therapist which helps me work with my clients than this visiting. And this medical device is using frequency. Frequency is something what we all know from different environments, health settings, kitchen, network, TV, radio. A difference between any other frequency, use, and Healy is one. There are all reprogrammed frequencies, and they are all safe to use. That's extremely important because we all know from the history that the frequency been quite widely manipulated through different kind of periods in the history, including the war. So been changes with the music frequency, and the manipulation tool used by the Hitler and Goebbels was also using the frequency. So the frequency really can be used in very, very bad way. But Healy, because it's reprogrammed, and this is the way how they research through all this last decade, it shows us that we have a lot of different frequencies matching the frequency of the body, but also our heart coherence, also our spiritual way of living, and that's everything can be detected by the quantum sensors. So I am recommending something always, no matter if I work with essential oils or if I work with the product like this, I always look for the safety of the product, because protection and prevention must be adjusted to the way how we try to help others. And being able to give someone or recommend this to the home use brings a lot of really peace of mind for everybody. We do suffer so many different health problems that very often we need to treat the body in very different ways. A frequency is used always in this way with Healy, that every 3 minutes the frequency changes, and if body is already filled or harmonized with the frequency does not appear again, but something else will appear in this process. So the way how Healy detects a need for the use of the frequency and administrate this is exactly this, what we would like to say as the best therapist possible, because not always it's possible for us to say when enough is enough, but Healy can do it. So it is a good way. Because sometimes you know yourself when you use essential oils, you give someone essential oils and someone's going to empty all bottle in the bath. But is this a point? No. A point is we need to stimulate. We don't need to really overload. We need to stimulate, because body will be able to detect this what needs and just adjust. So with the Healy, before I start this one, I tell one thing: is no golden solution for anything. In this world, if you want to think about something that's going to help you forever, no. As long as you do respect your body and your life in the way of good food, nutrition, exercising, quality sleep, water, and relation, and if you do not maintain balance within this area, nothing ever will help you, right? So that's a clear message. You need to use your tools with understanding that anything will be in the greater synergy to boost your potential for a change and transfer. So that's why I think that we always need to look around our whole life, not one specific small things. So health and well-being and balance can be understood differently, but every step needs to be used wisely. Healy is very, very special tool. It's created by the person who has a great knowledge about the West and the East. Markus Schmicke is a person who is normally trained as a physicist, and he has a lot of quantum physics theories in his head because of studying. But he spent also decades in the monastery in Tibet, and this is where he learned to understand how energy works. And if you understand how energy works with this level and have the specific knowledge, being able to translate this into life, you can trust the knowledge and experience of the person with creating something what using allopathic medicine and no allopathic medicine, because in other case, our health wouldn't be looked in the way how everybody should to be looked into. I understand when is needed a medicine, and the hospital administrates this, it is a need for now. But when you think about your life, you are looking for such a close relation with the nature as possible because we are part of this nature. And the frequency is one of the way how we understand this. When we are stressed, we are looking for the nice walk between the trees and forest where we want to go and have a wonderful, fantastic speed in the life. We go and dance and we sing and we jump and we create completely different environment. So we have understanding what and how to use. And Marcus wanted to use something what can be used anytime, anywhere, no matter if you're at home, if you work with your client, if you are stressed or you are going on interview, you have some specific body reactions and interactions to fulfill. And that's why Marcus Schmicke, after being trained in the normal way of thinking and understanding the completely different culture of thinking about the life, he tried to recreate environment friendly to humans, but also to animals, because this medical device can be used also for the animals, because every existing creature has some need, some use, and some purpose in life, right? So we need to look in this way. Marcus Schmicke is the person who is behind the Healy, but also behind the time waiver. Time waiver is widely used in this world for medical purposes, and a lot of doctors, physicians, physiotherapists, osteopaths work with the time waiver. Difference between time waiver and Healy is only one. Time waiver is stationary computer, so it's very limited function. You cannot take this with you on the holiday. You cannot take this to your client if you go and work individually in someone's house. So it is quite expensive. It's quite expensive, about 5-6 times more expensive than Healy is. Healy is wearable, so anytime can be used. And I like the idea that in pandemics, and any pandemic will bring the same quality, that will completely isolate us from the normal life interactions and possibility to use medical help very often through all this year. And probably in many countries, we cannot use medical help at all because we are so limited with it. But how wonderful would be to promote and create a better life better quality life. How wonderful would be help someone with the chronic pain or palliative care when people die and they are in pain. Isn't this a value per se? Yes, I think it is. Because if you can give someone peace of mind and peace within the body and give this peace which is needed to pass certain blockages in life, even this one when we're dying, how great it is. So with the Healy, Healy where was developed? It was developed in Germany, and Germany is the main base for the Healy company. But Healy itself does not operate on one language. It's an international product. So in any country can be found, can be used, can be bought and purchased. How you already can see, many chronic problems within the body is certified medically. This means that medicine acknowledge frequency as the solution for the pain, fibromyalgia, or pain with the migraine, insomnia, with depression and anxiety, and sleep disorders. So medically certified Healy is used for these conditions. Any other applications cannot be certified by medics because the doctors, anyway, these doctors who I know, does not understand aura, they don't understand chakras, they don't have much knowledge about meridians or any kind of homeopathic remedies. So you wouldn't expect that medics will certify that yes, it is something what may work positively because they don't have knowledge. My doctor said to me when she came for massage one day that through 6 years of the training, she had 2 hours of nutritional course. So my question is, who is better to evaluate what nutrition is in human life? Doctor who had 2-hour training or holistic therapist who does this every day, who assesses every client in the same way, who is more competent to use these qualities? Question is easy to answer. Only thing is does bring us to really nothing because we still on the very, very small margin on these therapists and healthcare professionals, which can be useful. So that's how many countries are using the technology. That's how many professionals, actually is more professional now, including doctors, are using frequency. And Healy has many doctors talking about experiences with the clients, with the helping them overcome the problems on the different levels. So this is not knowledge based on only hypotheses or ideas about how it may work. It does work, and it has worked this way for many years. Doctors are certifying by their own daily work that it is working. So I don't have any doubt that this is a technology which will be as popular as Apple or any other kind of technology nowadays, because that's where we go. It's absolutely crucial to understand how the frequency really make our body more beneficial with the way how this works, because everything in our life is about the smallest parts of our body. I know we were talking about energy, but on the physical level, the smallest will be our cell. And the health of our cells is absolutely crucial, because if any of the cells start not feeling like at home in our bodies and start sabotaging our body and our cell community, all of this cell community will become damaged and will bring a lot of inflammations and cancers and other health problems. So the health of the cell itself is absolutely crucial to understand. And how you work with your cell, it's individual work. You can use aromatherapy, you can use exercise, you can use breathing, because you know why this is such important things to have a quality breathe. Is first and last things in our life we do. So we need to mindfully go through on this bridge through our life and just protect our life and cells with this mindful thinking. So from the physical and biochemical point, every cell has some specific charge, like the battery. When the battery gets very weak, stops working, and the same happens within our body. The cell will disintegrate and it will not protect. So the healthy cell, if we would need to tell about the voltage of the cell, is about 70, minus 70. And if we can prevent this charge inside, we are able to make our life longer and healthier, because our factories are working without any kind of questions. But then when we don't respect our bodies in this way, where we don't eat right, where we use drugs, alcohol, where we do not sleep well, where we go into the conflict with life and people, our cells are stressed and our cells have no any purpose of living any longer. So they're losing the ability to be in the prosper charge, and the youth of the cell itself disappearing. So from the cell to hell, we go through the pains and the symptoms we feel are exactly connected to the health of ourselves. So when we do experience pain, when we have any kind of inflammations, where we have edema, when our body stops circulating the fluids in the body, blood, lymphatic fluid, we are getting worse with all life conditions, with the joints, with the kidneys, with the liver, everything is affected. So from this point, we're going to really moment when the cell is not existing, and because it's diminished, our cells also are affected. So this is how the process of the disease starts in the body. From the healthy cell, we are very, very quickly can go to the very end of this route, unless we take under consideration the main values and pillars under consideration, and we change a tactic how we live. So when we change small things in our life, we are able to retrieve back our health. That's a fantastic process, because I always say human's body is self-healing environment, and this is like a perpetuum mobile. But even perpetuum mobile must to have some understanding, because nothing can exist. But if you take ability to exist as nothing, you also won't be really able to control this nothingness. So in this case, supporting the cell is vital. Food is vital, quality of food, but also this what does frequency. And the frequency used in this situation, that's one good thing. Send the message to the membrane of the cell, because through the membrane of our cell, how you probably will be able to see here, you can give your body some specific information. When you look on your skin, and you can look on your skin even now, you understand that skin takes a lot of information from the outside world. So temperature, rain, wind, heat, sun, everything affects us. Whatever we apply on the skin also will be absorbed through the skin and be inside the body. So a skin is this for the body, what a membrane around the cell is for the cell. If it wouldn't be a membrane, cell wouldn't exist. If we wouldn't have a skin, we would just go everywhere. We wouldn't be existing either. So that's good to remember, that every structure around us needs to have this protection. So cell getting information through the membrane gets exactly idea what's happening within the body and what kind of environment it is. And a very, very simple example will be, if we feel stressed all the time, and then we have a little bit break with the stress, we go for a holiday, for example. So your cell communication understands this way. I had a stress, I coped well, we survived, we are all right, and now we need to reset our functions. And very often happens that the person who is free of stress gets unwell, gets a flu, gets a disease, gets anything. That's because we need to really react accordingly to the body needs. So stress level went down, our body wants to restore ourselves, and gets worse. This never would happen if we would have a good control over this period of the stress, over stress. And that's important, because for me, as the clinical therapist, with the cancer, and I like working with the cancer patients, because it's only two things which contribute to the deterioration: sugar and the stress, constant stress. So eliminating these two things, stress and the sugar, can hugely improve the life expectancy or condition of the person straight away. If we have this knowledge, we know how to use it. If we don't, unfortunately, we're not gonna to live for long. Okay. So Healy gives the message to the cell through the membrane. The same moment where we stimulate the cell, we also bring the bigger ATP production. What means have much more better energy efficiency inside the cell, because cells in the body, we have a lot of systems: digestive, respiratory, 10 different systems, and body can deal with it because it's working this way. But the cells does everything in one small cell. So digestion, enzymes, absorptions, respiratory, detoxification process is going through this one small cell, and giving the cell more energy give us also feeling that we can be more sufficient in our day life and health progress, because cell itself can really look after itself and the whole process. With the absorption of the enzymes, amino acids, and the protein synthesis, also we noticed with Healy that is hugely improved. And that's everything exactly the same reason because the cell recognizes the need to absorb more nutrients and use it according to the body needs. So it's a lot of different health value which Healy give us, but how does it really work on the normal physical level? In the moment when we know what kind of problem body experiencing, we use our phones to identify program. And the phone by quantum sensor, which normally works the way that we touch the ecran, the screen of our phones, quantum sensor reads the information and give us information about this, what programs for my body, for my mind is needed in this exact time. Sometimes people have a chronic pain, and we can use this to use the program for the pain or chronic pain. Sometimes we may have difficulty with the well-being, so we can introduce the well-being program or well-being soul or emotional strengthening, and we will exactly engage this part of the body with the communication between cells. And the information between cell and cell is carried because our body mostly is the water. And if we drink plenty of water, we do have a better health. And why this happens? Because between one cell and another is a better communication. So they can spread as the neurotransmitters information between each other. People who do not drink enough, they accumulate a lot of toxins and their health is not so good. And the reason for this is because the communication between cells is very limited. So the cell itself doesn't know what to do. It can produce a little bit energy, but won't be able to proceed on the global scheme and other functions because more than one cell is involved in the process of the detoxification or absorption of the product. Healy using a different tools to send the information to the body, like the ear electrodes, bracelets, or the pads. This really does not matter nowadays because we also can use Healy without any kind of cables, and the frequency which is directed goes not only for one person but also for people around you or in a whole room. So it's very easy to see how the energy in the room changes sometimes. And when people are very stressed, is within minutes they start yawning, relaxing, and sleeping. And when I do a massage, I usually start the frequency treatment first because my work with this client will be more efficient and will be straight away going for the problem occurring. Because sometimes it's that I need two treatments for one client to actually reach the deep tissues. And I cannot really work too hard because in other case, I will create spasm of the muscles and my work will be completely pointless. So in this situation, I try to identify what first need of the body is. I put the program on and then I start working. And within 10 minutes, my client is sleeping, the body is relaxing, I can do my work. So on the physical level, I do what is needed to be done, but on energetical level, I can actually seal all of this energy which completely made my client vulnerable and been absolutely no use. So this is how I use it for the purposes of me helping other people. It is another person with the Healy word, which is worth to mention because this is a person, Nuno Nina, who created 144 gold frequencies. And these frequencies are used within this small one item. This is why I just, from the disapproval of the method, when I got this very first, I started going through more all phase because 144,000, I cannot even find this on YouTube. I cannot find. So even if you're looking for YouTube for some special frequency, you find this. But knowing 144,000 called frequencies which Healy detect a need for and apply it to you, it's amazing. So Nuno Nina has a lot of clinics around the world, which only using frequencies to treat the clients. And I find this quite fascinating because sometimes you question, is this really such a big market? I think that nowadays where we have a little bit better consciousness, awareness, we're looking for the things like this and should to be taken under consideration as the first aid anyway. So quantum sensor is analyzing our body within the bioenergetic field, and the frequencies after analyzing the body needs are chosen by Healy. So even if the person has very little knowledge on the very beginning of using the Healy, they will not feel left out because that's a purpose of this device, to find the problem and offer the solution. Um, in in the fields of our work with Healy, we can work on different levels because with the learning, we have a lot of functions like concentration or memory for the Parkinson patients or Alzheimer patients. It's a fantastic tool to actually help the neurons to connect better in the brain. So this kind of memory, concentration, focus programs, absolutely amazing. With the fitness, every person who aims to do a fitness level on the good level has a lot of programs which can help with the muscles regeneration, with the tissue regeneration, with the stamina itself, to bring the body to the right moment of being able to compete, because sometimes the level of the hormone of the body is not really even. So we can really be a good at some sport, but then we are not able to overcome some kind of limitations. So helping on this level is super stuff. With the job nowadays, where we all work in the different patterns and we live in fear, this is something would create a lot of difficulties. And I say my client, going for a job interview nowadays is more stressful than ever been, because we are not practiced for whole year personal interactions. So even this kind of job programs where you are under control to use the stress, where you are able to focus a little bit longer on this, what you're talking about your concentrations, about the efficiency of your work. These are superb programs to give us the right state of mind that we are able to do it. And you know what? Before we started today this webinar, I used also one job program for myself, which was concentration, because I am a person who loves talking. And if I start talking about one thing, I very quickly can drift to another thing, and I can lose you. I can lose myself. So for me, it's really very, very, very crucial to be on the top of this, what I'm talking about. So I use concentration to see how I will progress today. And I need to say, I really feel quite focused. So sometimes I am experimenting on my own, because even though I do understand, I do believe in technology, I sometimes like to doubt something because I want to be proven myself that this works. So that's my use. But my daughter used for the beauty, because she's a girl of teenager girl, so she does use acne product, acne skin, all this kind of stuff. I don't understand much, but she does, and she says she's looking more beautiful because of the Healy. So that's her right to say it. So we do a lot of different panels with the Healy, because Healy is not only one edition. A very basic edition of the Healy Gold has very basic but very valid programs of our needs, because being able to stimulate immune system, specifically during the pandemic, absolutely life-changing progress. Being able to understand our emotional needs, absolutely crucial, because our emotion can create a chaos in our life. So that's all the programs which can help us with managing any of the issues which are out of the whole balance. But we have also a different editions, mostly because different editions offer different works. And how you can see from this gold program here, Healy edition here, from the Healy Gold, which is very basic Healy, we can upgrade to the Healy Holistic Health, where we have this kind of programs for a pain, for bioenergetic balance 1 and 2. There are all programs for balancing hormones or hormonal changes or organs itself, like the stomach or heart or head. Meridians, probably you are all familiar with meridians because this exactly in your philosophy, life philosophy, written down, and sleep, which nowadays is affected by the stress again. I always stress, no matter what the problem within the body is, stress usually causes it. So working with the stress itself usually helps with everything else. But if this is not enough, the sleep programs are for the same reason, to help us to manage our stress. So Holistic Health Plus has still more programs, and these more programs are very useful for every person who have this kind of interest with the chakras, auras, and protections. Protection programs which can be used for the purposes of electrosmog, for example. So negative problems with the network, with the 5G, 4G, 3G. So all of this affects our life. Electrosmog from the TV, radio, internet, constant Bluetooth on, that's everything affects our health. So this can be also taken into consideration. We have protection programs for cell itself. So the cell itself is protected in the way that no pathogen is going to interact with the cell. And probably one day I will tell you how badly this can go if you are a user of the alcohol or smoking or anything else, because you physically feel that your body is trying to protect you from the toxins. And I have a wee story. My friend, she sometimes does like having a smoke of the joint. So she sometimes smokes marijuana. She never thought about this before she done the program for protection the cell. So she done first cell protection program. She smoked the joint, but she didn't smoke pure. Something disappeared. Okay, but be here. So with the Healy resonance, this is the most useful tool for me, because analyzing the body components and needs are valid for every therapist, and giving a good indicators what body needs are give us also the better understanding of the person position in the life. And analyzing the body can be done on the very many levels, because this Healy resonance can analyze not only vitamin and enzymes itself, but also can help us to choose materia medica products, which are usually herbs, can help us to choose homeopathic products, can help us use a right stone, which is, everybody has some kind of interest in life. So if you feel comfortable as a therapist using some specific tool, working with the homeopathic or with the stone, that's exactly the things which you want to do, because you can exactly get an answer what kind of remedium apply and use. And if you don't know, this does not matter, because exactly the same things. Healy tell you what is needed, and Healy give you a solution, means treatment. And on Healy resonance, the treatment looks very different than on frequency, because frequency, this is very physical treatment. You place the pads, you place the earpods, and you just really get the physical treatment. You can feel the treatment because everything happens on the body cellular level. With the resonance, we work on structures which are not physical, but all this energetical, which I started talking earlier about. And that's amazing things to do, because nowadays our technology goes towards the digital informational medicine. This is very interesting concept, and for people who lived in completely different values before pandemics, it's difficult to understand it. But I tell always one thing. People are using homeopathic medicine. They use it. Do they believe it? Do they not? Does not matter. This product works. But sometimes you want to ask yourself how the product can work, because when you take homeopathic medicine and you start looking what's in the homeopathic medicine altogether, you don't see any kind of value of the product, because except liquid or sugar is nothing there. This was shaken so many times and diluted 21 times, diluted, that there is no physical therapeutic medicine. But information about this exact plant, herb, enzyme is in the bottle or is in the pill. So information carry us to the therapeutic results, not product per se. It's very important to know, because if you have this kind of knowledge, you are able to modify everything in life, because you wisely use tools we are given, including pattern of thinking, for example. So how the digital information medicine works? If Healy analyze your body, for example, accordingly to the homeopathic level, and tell you that your body is required the arsen, for example. Arsen is usually a poison, toxin, and can modify different things if you have a knowledge. I don't question, is needed or is no needed. Healy tells me this, and I send information in someone's body field. So in application, you have a wee action button down, and you press it, and for 1 minute, this information is sent to the energy field of the person we are treating. So no matter what kind of remedium it is, or maybe a vitamin which is needed, the field recognizes the information, absorbs the information, and make a use of it. So that's where the quantum digital informational medicine comes to us, that everything can be done without physical interaction between us as the physical body and the product itself. And I like the idea, because sometimes, especially nowadays when the quality of food is so poor, we would need to eat only very clean organic produce, or we would need to take hundreds of really good quality supplements. And still, we wouldn't have a guarantee that a body will absorb everything, because this is also factored by the health of our insides. So if someone's intestines are not in good conditions, no matter how good product will be, a body will never be able to take it. So that's where the cleverness of the technology can come. Not everybody will have open mind yet, but I am more than sure that everybody knows how Chinese bamboo grow. 7 years of, watering the same we see, may come, may not. After 7 years comes finally. But with the body is the same. We really need to make this information available and treat this with the open mind, because this is exactly where we may actually end up in a year's time, because everything now goes to this level of understanding the body work. And I am happy with this, because why complicate our lives? Life is simple enough. Make this simple with the Healy is even better. So I like the resonance also for the different reasons, and I tell you about this because you are professional, willing to learn how the human story can be straightened, because we are results of a lot of different actions in life. Also, our parents, our grandparents, our countries, our societies. So we are products of all of these systematic thoughts, programs, ideas, someone's theories which are not ours, but we still believe that this is a part of us. So very often we cannot really overcome some life challenges because our life challenges been factored through the story behind us. And in chakras analyzing function, we have ability to see what chakras need to be worked a little bit better, needs to be worked on the level of the physical level, because chakras are no much or no less, but also the physical equality of the body functions. But on energetic level, we can find the function which tells us from what kind of level our story is just breaking down and is not enabling us to succeed. And knowing this, you can find out that parents, grandparents, wrong ideas and the way of actions may bring us to the same position where we are able to look on our situation from different perspectives. And this is how I use Healy. Because if I see the same client 5 times with the same problems, and I done everything on the physical level what I thought may help, and I still did not help how I wished, I need to think, where is problem located? And then I do analysis of the chakras. And sometimes I have information that our physical problems or materialistic financial problems comes from the blockage of our parents, maybe because they thought they thinking were wrong. And this is where this information are stored in our bodies, because epigenetics give us information which we are not aware of. So making this story further, I tell my client, or I ask my client about this, how the situation at home was, or how the parents were acting like in the different situations. And I make a picture of the person's life really. And this gives me information on what level we need to work. So if I will present Healy and I will leave this information for the person to work on the energetic skeleton, I say this way, or chakras itself, I'm directly modifying information which was left and never worked with. So in the moment where I send vibration, this may take a few times, this may take a week, but the process of changes will happen. And I have a lot of situations now, right now, where administrating this kind of treatment, distance treatments, change the person's position in life. So that's why I value this tool, because no many methods can be measurable. And when you measure this kind of progress, and can you see the progress in person life and treatments itself, you know that the physics can really explain a lot of different problems happening in our life. So this is what I value Healy for. I said that Healy is something what is a produce of a lot of different knowledge and schools and ways of treating the human imbalances. So West and East and doctors and therapists. So they all contributed their own knowledge about the life itself. And taking all this information and consideration gave us something so small like Healy is. But also it is something what is used on the different frequency fields, and these patents are already applied in Healy life. People who are using this daily, it's a lot of them, because frequency, like water, like quality food, like quality sleep, every day needs to be administrated. I don't say it must be, because my clients can see a difference only even if they come for one treatment. But if you want to really feel a progress, you need to think that something would you use systematically give you a better result than once a while. Also, I tell everybody that improvement of symptoms can be long lasting, because we are getting to the cause of the problem. It may take long, it can take 2-3 months, but also can take a day or an hour if it's chronic disease, and you will feel difference. And because we do always remember as a therapist that if disease or illness in the body is short, for example, you get a cold and you are sneezing, the treatment is short and treatment is effective after a day, because short illness, short treatment gives you the results you want. But if someone is suffering for 20 years, don't expect the results next day. You may feel benefits with the pain management or any kind of problems, but this is not a tool which cancel every your mistake from the past. It makes you aware what your mistakes were. They brought you to this point of your life, but it will require a time to change. Okay. Also, with the Healy, I ask you about doing Healy first before supplement talk, for one reason only, because Healy till end of next month, actually supposed to be this month, so until today is supposed to be on promo, but company itself renew promotion until end of the May, and I tell you all about this promotion because it is a good point for us to start thinking how we can effectively and low cost help person, and also maybe build a business, because Healy has superb opportunities for the building a business, and this is what I will tell you shortly in a few minutes soon. With the progress of the different tools in life, we see that supplements are growing. They always will grow because our quality food every day is worsening, and knowing that Bill Gates have an idea to feed us from the laboratory fake food and fake meat is just completely no right way, but it will be needed review how we live on a daily basis. So supplementation is taking a big market. All wearables are taking a big market as well. So all the watches with the body different functions, sleeping, activity, steps are popular anyway. So this is also market for Healy, because Healy does have this kind of watches, but most important, they also have a watch which can administrate all this nutritional value through the information to straight away to your body. And this is a growing market, always will be from now on, because the technology with the physics also grows and is more reliable information than ever been. So frequency, resonance, this is not only theory now, this is exactly a tool for everybody. It can be used wisely by the therapist, or can be used for solving the home problems, health issues problems, every single person at home, because this is not only a personal therapist, but family therapist. So if we have 7 people at home and everybody has some issues, that's exactly good moment to recommend something what can treat problems of everyone. So that's a therapist for everybody. So when people ask me why I rather buy those one and not come to you for a treatment, I say, come to me for a treatment. But if you want to have the benefits of the treatment, I need to see you twice a week for at least 4 weeks. That's around 8-10 treatments. Treatments are expensive, and you're not gonna to think this way. You're gonna to see me once for 8 times or 10 times, and this will be for life-lasting treatment benefits. No, you would need to come to me more often. Every 3-4 months, I would like to see you to help you to give you the benefits you expect from me. But if you cannot sacrifice such a huge money for a treatment per se, I recommend to you getting your own personal therapist, because this therapist will work not only with your physical body, but also with everything else what I wouldn't be able to detect through my work, or I just wouldn't have a time through the one session. So that's the reason why I found works better for the client. How you can see, this is networking which works all over the world. No limits. India, Poland, Asia, Africa, and China, everywhere the technology is present. So it is very, very dynamic growing market. With the compensation plan, I will not go through everything because I don't know if you are interested with finding the product which you can use as the business tool and by recommendation to others, generate some passive income. Nowadays, I think it is important to have this thinking that in the world where we have pandemics on and off, lockdowns, and unable to communicate with others, we may think that this could be a beautiful, good source and ethical source of helping others to find the right product for their own use. And using the Healy itself in the room, in the therapy room, makes a huge difference for the outcome and the benefit itself. So that's all information. I said earlier that we have a promotion. With Healy promotion is promotion very, very unique because they offer usually buying a product which is more expensive for a price of cheaper one. So for example, when I was buying the Healy, thanks God it was promotion also because how I said on the very beginning, I've been shocked by the size of the device. And this really hugely gave me a discomfort of the money. But where I'm looking for this Healy, okay. So with the promotion, the prices, I don't know what kind of value currency it is, but I tell you how this works. If someone is wishing to buy this product, Healy Holistic Health Plus, will get into the basket the product of this one, but will pay a price which belongs to Healy Holistic Health. If someone willing to buy a Healy Resonance, the most expensive of these tools, it will pay price not those one, but those one. So the promotion is quite good. So when I was buying my Healy Resonance, I saved nearly 1,000 euros. So instead paying 2,500 euros, I paid 1,400 euros. So that's the best value, I would say. Also, if people do not really wish to buy a product to make a business, a Healy also offer this kind of possibilities because every person who would like to try working as a youth worker and recommend the product like this can use their own link once they register. And after every 3 clients, they will able to upgrade the ability to get free tool. So for example, if you would like to get Health Holistic Health and you would register yourself through my link and recommend this product to 3 people who buy this from you using the link you provided, you earn your own Healy. So the company send you this Healy for free. Another 3 clients give you upgrade for those ones. Another 3 clients give you upgrade for the Healy Resonance. So a Healy has very, very friendly way of approaching the clientele. You don't need to buy, but if you buy, you also get a better percentage from the recommendation. So obviously, if you buy the Healy Resonance and you recommend another Healy Resonance to someone else, you will get 40% from every recommendation which was successful. So it is quite a lot of money for one sale. Not many companies does this kind of value. Also extra percentage from the cooperation within the team. So extra 15%. So the percentage goes depend of the structure, but this is not a moment which I wanted to talk about the business per se. I want to let you know it is a lot of possibilities of using the tool and using this also for a business purposes. This is exactly what I'm talking about. If you would like to have a little more information how the business per se work, let me know and we will talk about this on another occasion. What else is for me important? It's important for me to let you know that any partner who will register somehow soon will always win the business way of dealing with the Healy. Why? Because in a month's time, Healy gonna to upgrade prices, not tools itself, prices. So prices for the most expensive item now will be 100% higher. Also, this gives us as a youth workers possibility to earn even more money than now. So 40% from 2,500 is different than from 4,000, for example. So everybody can they do their own math. So this is a good moment for a business. Why? Because exactly in a month's time the prices will go up. So buying the tool called Healy to use for health benefits will cost much more money than is now. And unfortunately, for me, it is important to give people as much information they need to live better, live happier, live longer, and also make their good financial progress in life. And because this is something what we can appreciate, because our health getting better, we can really recommend this with peace of mind, with all this kind of freedom that we are not doing anything what is against the ethical or moral reasons. For me, would be difficult to sell something or just talk about something what I am not convinced this can work, what I did not try, did not check. And I bet that for many therapists, this is exactly the same challenge, that working with different produce give us a question. Am I ethical with my line of working? So I say today, yes. 1 year ago, I was in different position. I did have no this open mind about this, and I did take my time to make sure that my standards and the standards of the product are exactly matching. So I am not making the stories. I am not making the fake promises. I am not talking about something what is not scientific proven, where a product is not reliable at all. So that's important message, because we all as a therapist want our best for our clients and ourselves as well. That's how a karma creates, does it? So I would say thank you for listening all of this monologue, mostly. But I hope that you enjoyed this as well. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask me, and I will try to answer this as good as possible.
No, ma'am. Actually, you explained very well in the, the whole presentation was too good. So I think there should be no question. You gave the each and every detail.
Lovely. How I said, I can talk much more. I just don't know what kind of information you are looking for. If this is a therapeutic use, or this is a business use, or this is the biochemical structure or physical structure, because I think that we both understand very well our way how we are operating this world on the different levels and energy as well. I feel
Yes,
that
exactly,
we
ma'am.
resonate somehow, yes. So I have no any doubts we do understand this part. I just don't really know if I gave you all information you were looking for about the Healy. So if there's anything what I didn't mention, let me know and I will answer your questions.
Sure,
Even if
ma'am.
you wish, you can provide my email to those ones who would like to ask me directly about the product, or even my phone number. And I am here for you to help you with the same job I am doing for my clients. So yeah, it was lovely.
That would be great, ma'am. We will share your details and information with the people who are in touch with
Hmm,
us, so that they can, look the video. And if they have any questions, we will inform you, or we will just give the email IDs of yours so that they can communicate directly to you regarding the
lovely,
product, ma'am.
wonderful. So that's about Healy. If you would like to listen about supplements, I also recommend, also from my point of view, holistical point of view, I am also to share this kind of information, because, how I said, nutrition always is important to people. We are those one who are produce of our food, and our food is medicinal value or completely different value. But supplements which I am recommending people are completely natural, organic. They are holistically made, because they are using produce which is whole, not part. So for the energetic reason, for this informational reason, that's for me important. No plastic, no everything what is bottled is in the glass bottle. So this value I treasure in my life. That's what I try to pass to community, to the big group of people who asking why it's so important to pay attention to small details, because our life are small details life. And if we do not neglect our small steps, we never will be able to do whole way happily ever after. If we pay attention to small steps in our life, we have a better chances to survive and have a better quality life. And I think that's important because you can be 8 years old person who has plenty of energy and takes part in the marathons, or you can be 30 years old person who cannot really fit yourself or just really get your shoes on. So I have this kind of clients as well that I see such a huge differences, and I see also how what values they are using in their lives. So everything is related to our choices, and our choices are these messengers in life, which gives us the hope, or take us this hope from better understanding a purpose of human life. Thank you very much, and I
Ma'am, it
hope
was
you
a
all
great
well.
tips, ma'am.
So, so I hope I will see you somehow soon, and all the
Sure,
best
ma'am,
for you.
definitely. We would love to connect with you in future again, and we will have another session on the another topic so that we could, share your experiences and knowledge with all of us.
Mm, yes, I think that we can do a lot of good. I always say, it's no matter where do we live, what religion we do have in our heart. Important is in our heart, no matter of the color skin, geographic location, beliefs, that our heart, this is only religion we actually believe in. And we work very, very closely and deeply with the qualities of our heart. I heard once very beautiful saying that every person in their own heart have a diamond. Sometimes this precious stone can lie in the mud and the dirt, and this does not really underestimate the value of this diamond. So we're just looking for the cleansing water, but the value is always the same value in every person and every life on this earth. Thank you very much.
That was such a great words, ma'am. Thank you so much for inspiring us and giving us your knowledge and time. So once
Thank
again,
you.
yeah, ma'am. Continue, please.
Thank you. And I hope to see you soon again with the
Sure, ma'am.
supplementations. And all the best.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for joining with us. We are glad that we connected, and it was such a great session, ma'am.
And that's for me as well. Thank you.